Okay, I'd like to go over the meeting rules for today. So as Alan is the Mandarin Toastmaster today, I'm the English Toastmaster. Our job is to facilitate the meeting, the transition between speakers, and to make sure that everything runs smoothly. And our counter for tonight is Ben Chuck. Timer tonight is Dan Hill. And we have 4 speeches today. First 2 are going to be in English. The first one is from Marco. Second one is from Ursula. And then the first Mandarin speech is from Michael, and the second one from Elliot. And more details on those a little bit later. Okay, this will be followed by the English table topics session and the Mandarin table topics session, which will be chaired by Wendy and Su Young, and they will discuss what happens when it's their turn to come up, what exactly the table topic session is all about. General evaluator for tonight is Johan. Johan's job is to look at how the meeting went today in general. Did everything go smoothly? Were there bumps here and there? And then we have, of course, he will be calling up the English evaluators. Dan, you're an English evaluator?
I'm calling it if Marco is.
Marco, yes, you are. Okay, and Young. And then Robert and Kayla will be evaluating the Mandarin sections. Did you want to?
Yes. 各位观众朋友，大家好。今天是我们的 Toastmaster meeting， 我是中文的 Toastmaster， 我的名字叫 Alan。OK， 那刚刚 Mashka 已经讲过的，今天的这个主题是 cooking， 就是所谓的烹饪。OK， 因为我们会选这个主题，是因为有一个很有名的厨师，他的名字叫做 Julia Child， 他在上海市长大的，然后他是很有名的厨师，然后做到全世界都知道他叫什么名字。然后刚好今天这个月是他的生日，所以我们是要来纪念他的。所以今天的主题是烹饪。然后今天的每日一字呢是叫 exotic 中文翻译叫做异国情调。那所谓是异国情调就是一些东西在你很少看过或是不曾看过的东西。像如果我今天去泰国的话，我去泰国吃饭，他们会吃一些不太一样的东西，像他们会尝试那种烧焦的毛虫。OK， 那对我来讲的话，那个就是异国情调、异国风味，因为我从来没有吃过这种东西。OK， 那刚刚 Mashika 已经介绍全部的今天的角色了，所以那现在我们就要请我们的第一位的一个演讲要上来了。
So our first speaker is not here. Oh, we will save him for later. I'd like to introduce our second speaker for tonight, Ursula. She will be giving her first speech, the icebreaker speech. So the purpose of this is to have a clear structure, beginning, middle, and end, and to introduce herself to the group and get a feel for what her strengths and some things to work on might be. And the type, sorry?
Okay, no.
Okay, and evaluating her will be Young, and then her speech is called How I Love Languages. Ursula.
Hi everyone. I love languages. I speak 3 languages and I'm learning 2 more. My native language is English and I've heard Finnish all my life. I grew up in Minnesota, which makes that not so surprising. I heard Finnish in church environments and from visitors from Finland on a regular basis and my grandparents. And I spoke English at home, unfortunately. My grandparents did speak Finnish around me, but they spoke when they didn't want me to understand. This is a very familiar story for a lot of people in the United States. The rhythms and the sounds of Finnish are, for me, not exotic. So, this is my opportunity to move the gong. And improvising. And because I've heard the language all my life, that is a part of my senses. So something like Chinese is going to be far more exotic. I can recognize Finnish in less than a word. It's that familiar to me. And when I was going to church services, I found a lot of comfort in just zoning out, listening to the rhythms of the language that I didn't quite understand. And I would do that week after week after week. And when I would see the visitors come and speak Finnish, I thought they looked so old. And what I learned at that time was that culture is also involved in language. And Finnish people don't smile as much as American people smile. In fact, Americans probably smile more than anyone else on earth. So for a young child, that made me think people were super old. I've since changed my opinion about that. As I entered the public education system, I got a little interested in German for some odd reason. It was available and I studied it for about 6 months. That was a little short-lived, but at the same time I still remember the instructor. He was this rather short guy with an interesting facial decoration on his upper lip and this dark brown hair, and generally a nice guy. But it was interesting that that vision was still in my head years later, even to this day. All the other classes I have no idea. I have my music teacher I did remember. And that's when my music studies started to develop. My interest in music started to develop at the same time that my language studies were continuing to boil in the background, like a pot on the stove cooking. Again, within the public school framework, I got introduced to Spanish and I studied that for 4 years. And I still remember my instructor up there at the front of the board with his very structured, methodical approach. Every day he'd come in and we knew exactly what we would cover, and to this day I look at his example and I think, I want to give this example to my students and the people I teach because it's super clear. The expectations are straightforward. If you have any questions, now we can take pictures with our cell phones and capture anything we miss if we're fiddling on them when we're in class. I went on to try and study Spanish at the University of Minnesota, and as a freshman or as a fresh woman, I might argue, the classes were all full. I could get into those classes as a junior or a senior, but there was little hope to try and move forward at that time. I had always been interested in learning Finnish formally, so I thought, okay, now's the chance to do that. I decided to go for it, and I took 2 years of classes, and my classes met once a week on Wednesday nights for 4 hours. I'm not sure if anyone knows how difficult Finnish is and the grammatical structures involved in the language. It's a little intense. So that was my journey for 2 years. And I was able to supplement my old school material with what's called an internet relay chat system. And I was a nerd back in the early 90s, chatting with live Finnish people online. Nobody else knew what IRC was, and I still have this fact on many of the young Silicon Valley people. Well, I was on IRC in the early 90s. Where were you? So that made my studies a little more interesting, and I was able to, because of my curiosity, find material that was more interesting. Later on, I was able to study with another instructor at the University of Minnesota who was highly skilled and more current in his teaching abilities. And in fact, I'm still in contact with him today. At this point in my university experience, languages competed heavily with my music agendas and my purposes and interests. And I was chatting online on IRC, and I would literally run down the hallway with my violin on my shoulder, and I'd say, gotta go! And I'd log out and I'd go, boom, down the hallway, day after day after day. And I learned Finnish really well this way. And everyone knew me for my conversation group experiences and my little black book that I carried around and wrote all my little new words in. I I traveled to Finland for the first time soon after having studied, probably two years after studying actually the language. And it was a first for many things. It was a first for a flight, it was a first for a train, it was a first for foreign travel. I was like, well, this is kind of an exotic experience. I was, for the first time in my life, feeling like I'd finally gotten home, and this experience changed me forever. I was devastated to leave the country after 3 months, and if I could have stayed legally, I wouldn't be here today. I continued to focus on Finnish as much as possible, and I've been to Finland 7 times. It's been a little while, it's been about 2 years. And I've taken part in 2 courses in Finland. One's fully sponsored by the Finnish government, another that had some funds available for people traveling long distances. And Finnish remains to be the language of my heart. I continued to stroll down my path and picked up Spanish along the way where I left it off. And immediately I found that I couldn't study this language anymore because I had my head so engrossed in Finnish grammar for 2 years. So that was a challenge. And I had to figure out how to do that. I decided, okay, I'm going to do this via travels, and I traveled to Mexico, Guatemala, Panama, and I decided to just have conversations with people. And I like Spanish because it's not taboo to speak your mind. Hopping over to other travels, I've been to China, and I picked up an interest in Chinese when I moved to California. And that's one of my current endeavors. And while studying Chinese, I thought, well, this is time consuming. Maybe I'll pick up German so I can have a break for 15 minutes. And that sped me forward very quickly. And that's been my current language. So thank you for listening. 谢谢. Gracias. Danke. Kiitos.
About speaking German and playing the violin.
Yes.
Yes. So, everybody should have a long evaluation sheet. Please take a minute to fill out some comments for Ursula and then give it to her after class. Tell her something she did really well and something you think she might be able to improve on. Now I would like to pass you over to Alan, who will head up the Mandarin section of our speeches.
Thank you, Michelle. OK， 所以接下来呢，我们要请我们的2位中文演讲者。OK， 我们第一位的演讲者是 Michael Leonard， 然后他的中文名字叫做麦可连，对，麦可连。OK， 今天将会是他的第2个演讲。他的第2个演讲呢，他的主题是第一个是选择一个合适的大纲，方便跟随你的思路跟理解你的演讲。第2个主题是主题要明确，选用的材料直接支持主题。第3个是从一段内容变换到另外一个内容时，使用适当的过渡。然后第4个主题是开始和结尾都要有力量。OK， 那他的今天的评审官是 Robert 今天会是评审 Michael 的第2个演讲，然后这演讲时间是5到7分钟。OK， 那他今天的演讲的题目是我长大的加纳。OK， 所以那我们现在一起来欢迎我们的 Michael。
在加纳长大。加纳是一个在非洲的国家。我很喜欢加纳，因为加纳是一个安全又异国情调的地方。我们一起来看看吧。我先看看他们的人民，还有食物、气候跟有趣的地方。加纳在哪里呢？你们看到这个红点，就是加纳。加纳的人民是什么个性？他们热情、友善、愿意帮助人。他们更喜欢外国人。如果你去拜访加纳，一定要品尝夫妇。夫妇是一种薯类制成的食物，我们都是用手抓一块夫妇，搭配花生汤一起吃。加纳的最有名的产品就是巧克力，非常好吃。而且不要错过他们的水果，他们的水果很甜，很好吃。因为他们的天气很适合种植这些水果，春天到秋天都会下雨，在夏天比较凉快，比较适合旅行。冬天很干燥的，也很热，很像沙漠。加纳最有名的地方就是莫雷自然保护区，在那边可以看到很多动物，比如说大象和猴子。海边有很高级的度假村，在那边可以晒太阳、冲浪、看移民。在加纳的中间有沃尔特湖，很大，世界上最大的人工。沃尔特也是蛮有趣的地方，可以上小船看到很多动物。猴子住在河里的小岛。你们不觉得加纳是一个很有趣的地方？有好多地方值得去探索。谢谢大家听我介绍我长大的国家加纳。
加纳果然是一个很异国风调的情况，希望我们以后大家都会有机会去看一下。OK， 所以请用现在1分钟写一下你们要给 Michael 的一些图件，然后等这个会议结束以后，我们可以把这个给 Michael。 OK， 好，那接下来到我们最后一个演讲者。今天的最后一位演讲者是 Elliot Mao， 他今天的主题是做父母的道德。那他这个演讲呢是属于幽默的演讲，因为我们下个礼拜呢有一个幽默演讲比赛。那他今天选的这个主题是希望大家能够鼓励大家，所以大家下个礼拜能踊跃的参加这个比赛。OK， 虽然说下个礼拜的比赛会是用英文而讲的，不过他知道不管是用中文或是英文，我们都会达到很好教的效果。OK， 所以Elliot 他今天的题目是做父母的道德，然后这是他今天第3个 project， 所以我们大家一起来欢迎 Elliot。
各位双语演讲会朋友们，做父母的道德，做父母要有道德吗？我问你们，你们哪一位已经做父母了？谁已经有小孩？谁是人家的小孩呢？应该是大家，所以应该是大家呢，我们大家有资格跟我讨论、分享这个问题。道德父母，为什么我会把这一题提起来？我们中国人很重要这个education 教育很重要。教育是从哪里来的呢？课堂、身教、经验，这个是我们课堂。那有小孩子，我觉得我们做父母最危险的、最要我害怕，就是要做身教。You have to set an example， 身教。几双小眼睛一直盯到你。那我觉得做父母会牺牲很多事情，牺牲什么？睡眠、方便、精神、经费，我可以再说下去。牺牲的这个，今天是谈道德，为什么呢？因为身教很重要，人小孩子就是看着大人做什么，他就是模样去做。所以呢，我牺牲什么？牺牲了什么？现在我说话要小心一点，不能讲粗话，也不能讲谎话，也不能做坏人。那你要我怎么办？所以我说，我跟你今天举个例子。有一天，我不想烧饭，那因为我们中国人烧饭大部分就是中餐，但是小孩子他们喜欢这个异国情调的餐。异国情调的餐是什么呢 ？KFC 炸鸡，小孩子一定要吃炸鸡。那刚好我看报纸里头有登了一个减价单 ，discount coupon。那我哇，这个整个报纸有这么单，我就把3张剪出来，一个是买一个送一个，一个就是打个10%的折扣，另外那个是一个包餐，刚好这3个 coupon 给我用。但是我们一家人口5个，哪里有2个 coupon 给我们用呢？至少要用2个 coupon 吧。但是那个 coupon 说明很清楚，有限的，1加1趟1张 ，1 coupon per family per visit。我说，机会教育，这个是一个机会给我小孩子学经济买卖。我就把我的6岁的儿子带去，我说呀，这个是妈妈的打算，你呀先进去拿这个 coupon 进去，你就订第3餐，这里有5块。你买完之后呢，妈妈就进去，然后我就订第4餐。好，他说我懂，开车过去，小孩子就进去 KFC 去，他就跑一个人订第3 餐5块钱交，那个小姐姐就给他找钱，炸鸡包好，就交给他。我从车里头看了，成功了，该我就进去买第4餐，就5块来了。周转了，那个孩子还在，事情已经办好，他怎么还在？这个孩子站在那边，他自信满满的，对他自己好开心哦，做了一件大事，他就站在那边，他不走，就看着我在办我的事情。结果这个小孩子开口，他说，他跟这个小姐说，她不是我妈妈，我跟她没有亲戚关系，好难为情哦。如果我可以在旁边挖个大洞，我会把它钻进去。我就想，这个小孩子，你把他赶快搞走哦，我根本不认得你。好，买完了，快来不及，就砰的冲出去，跑到车上，回到家，我问你，这个小孩子有没有做错事呢？我要不要骂他？我要不要凶他？小孩子没有做错事，是妈妈没有道德。好，第2天我说，也许我对我自己太严格了，我去买菜。这次买菜呢，就把他的3岁的妹妹带去，否则的话，这个6岁的证人太不行，要找一个不懂事的。我就菜场去买，哇，那天好美、好香、好甜的葡萄，我就买了1包。买了1包呢，小娃娃就说：“妈妈，我想吃葡萄。”好，我们出去的时候，我说：“哎，又来个机会教育父母。”我说：“娃娃，你有几岁呀？”3岁。我说：“哦，既然你3岁，我们数3颗葡萄，1颗、2颗、3颗。妹妹有3岁，哦，好高兴。在红绿灯的时候，妈妈很想吃葡萄，我说乖乖，给一些葡萄给妈妈。这个小孩子看到妈妈，看着那包葡萄，他说：“哦，不行哦，妈妈有整包葡萄这么老。”朋友们，我问你，我有看你有没有这么老？我不要你诚实，我不要你老实，我要你讲谎话，不要告诉我，不要智商。所以我今天跟你们分享，我要道德还是要小孩？做父母要有道德，是包括是不是？但是我现在讲来讲去，没有办法，道德、父母包括。
谢谢奥爷。我所谓天下最难父母心，真的在我们做父母亲之前，我们可能都无法体验做父母的用心跟为难，所以父母其实真的是很伟大的。OK， 所以现在请用1分钟的时间写一下你要给奥爷一些的feedback， 然后做到最后我们会把这个 feedback 给他。
Okay, now I'd like to move us into the second part of our meeting today. And this is the table topic session. So what I'd like to do is call up the person who will be chairing the English table topic session, which is Wendy. Wendy, if you could please explain what your what the table topic session is all about, please.
好，
3 questions, and so people can discuss about these questions. So today is my second time being a table topic speaker, and thanks for choosing such a great topic. And as many of you know, today is Julia Child's 100th birthday, and she was an American chef, author, and television personality. She is also known for introducing French cuisine to American public. So to be honest, I don't consider myself a big foodie, but I do like to explore different restaurants with my friends and family. So also, I don't cook a lot these days because my work is kind of busy. But when I was in college, I did cook. I used to cook because one of the main reasons is my mom always said that to me. The way to men's heart is through his stomach. So I feel as a girl, at least I have to know a little bit how to cook. So first question is I would like to ask people here is it's very simple. And what is your favorite cuisine and why? So does anyone speak English?
All speak English.
Okay.
All speak English.
Anyone want to share?
你可以选一个，
How about Michael?
最好是旋律，你有演讲过的。
Oh, okay.
Samuel. If I were to choose a favorite cuisine, I believe I could eat Japanese food every day. My favorite Japanese food would hands down sashimi. I love raw fish, whether it's Japanese or whether it's ceviche, which ultimately is also a form of raw fish. I like how it's very light, it's not greasy, it's tasty, and I really enjoy the texture of the raw fish. And if it's coupled with rice that's mixed with vinegar, I think it's a great combination. Also with sashimi, you can taste the freshness of the fish. It's very easy to tell whether the fish is fresh or if it's been in the fridge for a week, 2 days, or even a month. In terms of grilled food, I also like Japanese food. If you've been to izakayas, you've tried different kinds of meats or even chicken parts or different parts of organs on a skewer. To me, it's very tasty. Japanese food also has ramen, which has been a staple during my college life. Thank you very much.
So the second question is, what is your favorite dishes to make at home? Why? Because it's easy, or because it's convenient, or just because it's simple like this?
Sorry, would you just speak
Oh,
up a little
okay.
bit? Thank you.
What is your favorite favorite dishes to make at home, and why?
你有权可以随便选。
Okay, maybe.
Okay. Sorry, I really love cooking. I love talking about cooking so much. So I like to make, and it's actually really difficult, is bread. I like to make bread, and I like to make yogurt. And I always tell people this is how I'm riding out the recession, is making my own staple food. Because it's actually, I learned how to bake bread when I lived in France. My next door neighbor had apprenticed as a baker, and so he showed me the basics of how to do country style French bread. And so that's what I made every week. And the cost, putting together the cost of flour and then the yeast and everything is like 1/10 of the cost of buying a loaf of bread. So I said, this is great economy. And so I'd make like 15 loaves of bread at once, stick them in the freezer, and then when you're ready, you take it out, and it stays fresh for so much longer. I eat so much yogurt and cottage cheese. throughout the week. So, and one of my friends told me how to make yogurt, which was also incredibly easy. And you can make it in bulk, huge, largest pot you've got, just so easy and so cheap. So that is what I do, and I have to make yogurt this weekend again. So, thank you.
I like bread a lot. The only tip I can live without my life is fries and bread. So the second question is it still important that a woman should know how to cook these days, since we can easily get fast food everywhere? What's your opinion?
Almost. You go first.
So the premise that women should cook is interesting to me because my partner cooks and he cooks really, really well. And so because of that, I think that the task of cooking should actually go to the person who's interested in cooking and likes to cook, likes to find different flavors, likes to experiment with any kind of meat product, vegetable product, cooks for different audiences. I think that the fact that women are working more these days is tossing this equation up in the air. I think that a lot of men have perhaps even more time than women these days, so I think that depending on the arrangement and how that shifts, the cooking can go in any direction. Thank you.
Because I have to take a job, so I probably don't have that much time to practice my cooking skill. But in the future, if I have free time, definitely I want to learn how to cook again.
Thank you, Wendy, for such a wonderful table topic. OK， 那接下来是到我们中文的脑筋急转弯的部分。今天我们中文脑筋急转弯的主持人是 Sue， 所以我们大家一起来欢迎 Sue。
大家好，我有几个问题，做菜我真的不好，所以就不说这个题目，但是我挑了几个问题吧，我要问那个你们在生日的时候，你的妈妈做什么菜？还是比如说在韩国，我的妈妈做干货汤，还是海带汤？因为这个有很多营养，所以妈妈给出生的时候要这个营养吧。你们有什么特色的菜，还是什么东西在生日的时候吃的东西？
就是台湾的人，至少我来的那个城市，
这个对我真的喜欢这个菜，可以叫菜吗？但是你们如果你有外国朋友还是已经有的话，你们要做什么菜？还是为什么要做这个菜？可以说吗？我做方便面，你们也可以。
姐姐。
其实我也不会做菜，所以我不知道为什么这么多人就叫我的名字，好像我很会做菜一样。如果要招待外国人的话，我可能会做一些，因为我是上海来的嘛，所以我可能就做本地的上海菜，比如说红烧肉，比如说番茄炒蛋，比如说还有什么上海菜？不知道大家小笼包我不会做。它好像很复杂，那个皮呀什么的我不会做，还有一些什么不会炒。不知道大家有没有听说过冬鲜？就是它是百叶结，有3种菜，就是百叶结和咸肉，还有冬笋放在一起煮一锅汤。它叫一多鲜，就是很鲜美，那个汤鲜美，好像是比较招牌的上海菜。其他我也不会煮什么菜了，所以可能就是这些吧。
我要吃小笼包。还有那个最后的问题是，这辈子还是你的从生活，你有特别想吃的还是不想吃的？比如说我真不喜欢香菜，所以我不要吃什么料理跟香菜。但是平时还是将来你要特别吃什么东西，还是不要吃什么东西？
真的。
Hello， 大家好。今天第一次来参加这个演讲会。他的问题是说你最不喜欢吃的。从小到大家里就是不可以挑食，所以什么都要吃，所以没有什么说不喜欢吃的或者喜欢吃的。如果说有什么东西一定要是，就说有什么东西我很想吃，我现在很想去吃点心，就是广东人的点心，因为好久没有吃了。
谢谢你。
谢谢师为我们带来这么好玩的演讲节目，讲到我们知道肚子都饿了。OK， 所以刚刚就是我们脑筋急转弯的部分。那现在我们要请 Marshika 来接下一个部分，就是我们的检验的部分。Marshika。
So I would now like to call up Johan, who will be heading up the third part of our session, which is the evaluation session. He'll be calling up the evaluators who will give their comments on the speakers today, and then he will be giving a general evaluation on the whole meeting.
So as Marshika said, I will be introducing the evaluators and giving the general evaluation after that. I just wanted to say a little bit about what the general evaluator's role entails in addition to the individual evaluators that I will be introducing, who will be giving individual evaluations for the speakers. The general evaluator's role is also to elaborate on the meeting as a whole and to give a general evaluation. So to elaborate, so not just on the speakers, but on the entire meeting as a whole and each of the individual parts and how we did as a group today. So first up, I would like to introduce Volkan Young, who will be giving an English evaluation for the first speaker, for the second speaker, Ursula, on her icebreaker speech.
Technically, that's the first speaker. Ursula, you had a very great icebreaker, Kitos. You had a very natural introduction. Most people, when they come up for the first time, they stumble because they're warming up. So that, you know, and even professional speakers, they'll be like, hello, like my name is, but you came out here like a boss. You owned the stage, it was yours. And when you said the word of the day, exotic, the thing was there, and you need to be there, you just moved it. You didn't get flustered, you just did it. You're like, man, take this. My face. This is my stage, you owned it. That was great. You spoke about my favorite subject, Finland, and the Finnish language. Like, you don't get any better than that. But you spoke about it, but you really didn't. Why is it your favorite language? Is it the rhythm? And then you grew up in an area where everyone spoke Finnish? Why? Well, you mentioned where it was, but I forgot already. So it wasn't too memorable. You gotta let me know, because those are my people. I need to go visit them, you know? Those are my people. Talk about Finland more. Where is it? Is it an island country? Tell us about the voice of Finland. Who is the voice of Finland? I love Finland. I need to know more. More movement. You needed more movement. You were here most of the time, and you were doing this. The stage is here. Sometimes it's not right to move around. And I don't think your speech was appropriate for you to move around too much because it wasn't that kind of speech. But you can still have some more body gestures. You can, you can sidestep a little to make eye contact with different people. And maybe there's a person over there. Is that person getting my attention? So move around a little more to let them know they're loved, you know? You had a very natural tone. The way you speak, it's almost as if you're speaking to every single person and they're your best friend. It was perfect. You could definitely use more improvement because everyone could always use more improvement. Don't change it, but hone it. Make it better. But don't try to be something else. Keep that. At times, your speech was a bit dry. And there were points where it was sort of like sitting through finance. And you were like, and then I went to school, and then I went to this. I could have sworn you were my finance professor saying, okay, cash flow is on top. And power. I was like, no, you got to change that. It was a bit dry. And you can always use props, right? So when you talk about the German guy with his handlebar mustaches, have a cutout and put it on yourself. Be like, so he was like this, and then imitate it. He was like, yeah, I'm German, yeah, drinking the beer, yeah. So make it a little more engaging. Great humor. Great preparation. You had notes, but you didn't need to rely on it too much. You did glance at it, but as you get better, you'll learn to move away from it. And speak more Finnish. I heard one word, kiitos, and that's thank you in Finland. But that was it. If you love it so much, you gotta share it, you know? So tell us, say something in Finland. Please give the speech again. I would love to hear it again. Thank you.
Thank you, Young, for that evaluation. Next, we'll move on to Mandarin evaluations, where the Mandarin evaluators will be evaluating the Mandarin speakers. First up, I'd like to welcome up Robert Tran, who will be evaluating the first Mandarin speech from Michael.
Michael 的第2次演讲，他呢就告诉我们那个他长大的地方加纳，他用那些照片来告诉我们他长大的地方那个国家的环境、那个天气，还有什么你能种植的那些东西可以在加拿大种植。他做得很好，因为像他用普通话来跟大家做这个演讲，其实不容易。我觉得他应该学了有多少年了时间
1年半。
哇塞，你听到1年半，他就可以上来这里就给一个演讲。对，真的。但是呢，我觉得如果你要给一个演讲的话，你必须得那个语言要好一点。为什么要好一点呢？主要你在这里演讲的时候，你真的要给大家一个印象，你知道你要说什么，你有那个自信在这里说。所以有时候我看到 Michael 呢，就拿这张纸看说那个演讲，所以就没有那么多那个跟那个观众有眼对眼那个 contact。第二呢，就是他讲的时候呢，他应该有点紧张，所以没有太大的动，他只是站着那里讲，然后他就慢慢介绍他那个国家那个长大的地方。所以呢，如果你要 Michael 要再做好一点呢，主要是你一定要对你那个资料有多一点的认识，然后你说的时候呢比较自然。那说的自然的时候呢，人家就听得懂、看得懂、看到你的眼神。这样的话呢，你就跟那个观众有多一点的接续。不然的话，你这样念的话，人家又看不懂，有时候也不会留意你在说什么。所以主要的下一次你给演讲，你可以再多一点锻炼，然后上来再比较自然一点给那个演讲就比较好。谢谢。
Thank you, Robert. Next, I'd like to welcome up Kayla, who will be giving the Mandarin evaluation for our second Mandarin speaker, Elliot.
大家晚上好。Elliot 是个非常有经验的演讲者，他这次我已经不知道他是第几个演讲了，但是他 purpose 呢就是 make them laugh。那大家笑了吗？听了他的演讲以后，大部分都笑了，很有意思。所以他就达到了他这个目的。那他什么讲的这么有趣呢？一个呢就是回忆一下，就是他带6岁的儿子去买那个肯德基炸鸡腿，他的儿子站在那边不走，然后让他很害羞，让他最后没有办法又不好意思骂他的儿子，然后他自己内心很矛盾。第二个故事他就讲带妹妹去买葡萄，然后最后在车上妹妹要递给他葡萄的时候说你的年纪和这葡萄一样多啊，没办法给你了，也让他很矛盾。这个呢就是使他的这两个故事使他的演讲非常的有趣，大家听了以后非常好笑。另外呢，他也是支持了他的主题。这两个故事给他带来的矛盾心理呢，令他呢就支持了他的主题，说父母为什么要讲道德，到底应该怎么做，引起了我们的思考，也是非常支持他的主题的。而且他演讲的时候非常的自信，也有这个正确的手势啊，动一动。另外他的声音高低起伏，使他的演讲更加有趣。那唯一的我觉得就是故事还是少了一点，只有2个。如果再来一个再有趣一点，那就更好了。谢谢。
Thank you, Kayla, for the evaluation. So now I'd like to go into my general evaluation of this meeting. I felt that this was a meeting that went pretty good. Marshika and Alan, both of you went through the agenda from the very beginning and introduced all the roles, all the speakers, and their evaluators. I think this was the first time I've seen that, and that was really good. So going through all the roles and just introducing everybody briefly before was really good. And you also introduced the word of the day and the theme from the beginning. I think all of that combined really set the tone and the stage for the theme of today's meeting right from the get-go, which was a very good start. Marshika and Alan, you both spoke in the beginning to introduce yourselves, which was good because you set the stage from the beginning between, so English and Mandarin flows very easily between both of you, but there could have been a little bit more smoother transition. Marshika, maybe you could have introduced Alan. That would help to set the stage between a good transition between Mandarin and English between the speeches and throughout the meeting. All the rules for members that are running late or should not be that are not here should be quickly filled from the beginning and to prevent disruptions. And you both did a very good job at that, making sure that the evaluators who weren't here, the roles were filled, and that you did a great job there. There was a very good handoff of roles between the two Toastmasters, between English and Mandarin, because the English and Mandarin Toastmasters are really the MCs of the meeting, and your roles are to really facilitate the meeting and make sure that everything's running smoothly. And I think that both Alan and Marshika did a very good job of that throughout today's meeting. It was good that you gave a minute after each speech for people to write down their evaluations. Having people's speeches evaluated is one of the best ways for feedback, and it was great to implement that today in today's meeting. One thing that a few things that could be improved upon is that with the table topics masters, I know Wendy for the English table topics. You and Sue did a great job with the table topics. One of the things that we want to remember with the table topics is that rather than waiting for volunteers, we should call on people rather than waiting for volunteers to elect themselves. And ideally, we want to preferably calling on more experienced members first, a more experienced member first to come up and give the first table topic, then calling on your members and guests to come up and answer subsequent questions after that. Another thing that we should remember is that table topics masters should also call upon people who haven't yet spoken, so that we so that all people have a chance to speak during the meeting, especially those without a role. Also, before calling up each speaker, Marshika and Alan, you did a great job introducing everybody from the beginning, from the get-go, going through the agenda, introducing the speakers and the evaluators. One thing that could be improved upon is before each speaker introducing their speech, giving maybe a little bit of background about the speaker who's coming up, and talking about their speech title, their number in the Competent Communicator Manual, as well as what the objectives of that particular speech that they're giving today are, so that the audience and not just the evaluators, but the audience as a whole knows what to evaluate them on based on the speech that they're giving. Other than that, I thought that the meeting went very well. You did a great job introducing everybody. There was a clear, you guys really took advantage of the space up here. The stage was never left there. Good handshakes, good handoff of rules between English and Mandarin, and between yourselves and the speakers and the evaluators and the table topics masters. And overall, I think it was a great meeting. Keep up the good work. I apologize. I forgot to call up the all counters and timers report. So first, I'd like to start off with the all counter. If you could Dan, if you could give the all counters report for today's meeting.
Okay, the purpose of all counting is to make the speaker aware of his unconscious saying ah. So tonight's speeches were very good. I didn't hear too many. Alan, you speak it okay a lot of times.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but is that you want to say okay or just unconscious?
Unconscious.
Okay, anyway, I can count quite a number of okays there. Yoshika, you got 4. You did, and let me see. Ursula, you only have 2. You can tell you're a very professional speaker. You really are. I mean, I can sense that. Michael, you only have 1. Very good. And Elliot, I didn't catch any of your. Yeah, I started laughing all the time. Wendy, you have. You have 5. And Sue, you got 1. Johan, you got to do something.
Yeah.
You got 39. You gotta be conscious that I know you're not aware of it, but somehow you have to be more conscious. Okay. Beyond that, I didn't catch any. You're okay. And Robert, you're okay. Caleb, I only got 1. And that's it.
I have an suggestion. Can I insert it here? That if people are doing change it to a really obvious sound, like or something, so that you start mapping the sounds. Some other sound that might help.
I think the first couple of speeches I can accept that, but when you go to 34 speeches, you should somehow build in your speech something.
We should not
avoid-
should on one another. We're always here to support and improve over time.
Thank you, Ursula and Ben. Next, I'd like to look on Jennifer for the timer's report for today's.
Ursula, unfortunately, I didn't quite start correctly on your speech. I had 7:05, give or take 30 seconds. The speech is 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay.
Maybe a few minutes, seconds over 7 is fine. Michael was 4:34, so keep it at 10 a little bit more. I love hearing my honest talking. Elliot, 7:12, so that was fine. On the table topics, those are 1 to 2 minutes. Samuel was 1:10. Marshika 1:07. I would have liked to hear about yogurt. I want to make yogurt. So give a speech about it. Ursula was 55 seconds. So you're just a bit short on table topics, but what's the table topic? We just found out. Is it Mary? Yours was 45 seconds, so a little bit longer would be nice. Oh, JJ was 1:15, so you were 1:05. Is it Jenny or Jamie was 49 seconds, so it's a 1 to 2 minutes, so just talk a little bit more, yes.
Jesse.
Jesse, I'm sorry. On the evaluations, those are 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
No, you were 3:12, which is fine. Robert was 2:15, which is also fine. And Kayla, 1:34, so talk a little bit more. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan. Next, I'd like to welcome back up the English and Mandarin.
Hello again. So thank you, Johan. Now I'd like to find out who our guests are tonight and learn a little bit more about you. How did you learn about Meetup and not the Meetup, about us, Toastmasters, and what did you think of the meeting? So Jesse, I think you're new.
Do I need to go up?
No, you can stay where you are. Stand up though.
Yeah, it was recommended to me by a friend, and I'm really, really bad in public speaking. I get really nervous when I go on that. My face and all red. And when people ask me a question, my brain just goes blank. I don't know what they're asking. So yeah, the meeting, this is really interesting, and everyone was really supportive and friendly, and I think that is really good and important. For someone just come in and say, oh, what are you doing public speaking? I think it's important that I feel I can come in again next time.
Yay.
I think it would be better for me to know a little bit more, like all that equipment, all that. Like what I still don't know what that was and why people are doing it. So it would be better if I know, then I will understand a bit more. Okay. So yeah, overall it's very interesting and yeah.
Okay, thank you. I feel like I've seen you before at our meetings. Are you new or?
I've been here before.
Eddie, sorry.
Yeah, I've been a couple times.
Okay. Sorry. So now I'd like to welcome back our president, Alan, who will be setting the agenda for next week. And
Thank you, Marshika. Oh, okay. All right. Just have a phone here. Okay. All right. Thank you very much for such a wonderful meeting. Marshika did a fantastic job. Let's give her a round of applause. So before we're going to go ahead and set the agenda for next week, and I do have a big announcement I need to make. But before I make the announcements, at this time I'd like to take a few minutes just to introduce our officers. And what I do call you on there to stand out and briefly describe your role and also what your responsibility and duty for the club, and whether you have any announcements that you would like to make or not. So let's first start with Robert, who's the Vice President of Education.
I am the VP of Education for this Toastmasters Club. My responsibility include getting you to go up there to talk, keeping track of your speeches, also help you to encourage you if you need any help in giving speeches, ideas, or ways to construct a speech and whatnot. I'm also responsible for these humorous speech contests, rules, assignments, and things like that. So if you have any questions regarding on giving speeches or need to motivate yourself to give speeches, you can come talk to me.
The next one we have Sue, who's our VP of Membership.
Hello, I'm Sue, and I'm VP of Membership. My responsibility is helping people to write down the membership application so that you guys can join in the club and just know about more about this club. And actually, usually before giving a speech or like participating in the club, we more encourage the members to do it. So probably if you guys have any questions to join in, just find me and ask me. Thank you.
Next one we have our Secretary Amy, who just came back from a beautiful trip.
Long trip. Still a little jet lag. But hi, I am Secretary for SFNet, and my duties include essentially paper pushing. I do all the records where I'm supposed to. And I'll reach out to any new members with a little welcome email. Make sure you know how to get in touch with us. So Jessica would like to give me an email right now. And, then, and anyone else, if you have any, but I'm here to help. I assist with anyone who needs help. So feel free to ask me questions, and I will direct you in the correct direction. Thanks.
Now we have a Sergeant of Arms, Johan.
Hi, I'm Johan. I'm the Sergeant at Arms. My duties are to really set up the room, make sure that all the supplies are in place, make sure the banners are out, everything's set up when people come in and are ready to go. And also, another one of my duties is to welcome new guests and new members to the club, also those that want to take a more active role, connecting them with existing members and also with club officers for the roles that they want to take on. If people have any questions about other roles that they want to take on or how they can participate more and more questions about the club, especially for new members and new guests, I'm the person that you can talk to about that.
Thank you. And also our beautiful PR lady, Marshika.
So my responsibility is communication with new members, communication within the group, and maintaining our website, social media presence. And so if you collaborate on projects we want to do in the future and make this more of a bilingual group because my Mandarin is sort of non-existent. Secondly, so if you're interested, please talk to me after the meeting, or if you know someone who might be interested, please have them contact me. I will give out my contact information after the meeting today. Secondly, if you would like to receive the most current announcements and news for this group, please give me your email address so that I can put you in our Google groups, because that's probably the easiest way to communicate anything new that's going on. Is there anything else? I think that's it.
Thank you. Our treasurer is on the field trip right now. He is in China working for 10 days, and he will be back pretty soon and join us next week, week after that, perhaps. And I'm the president of the club. My name is Alan. My job is just to facilitate and oversee the club and see how it runs, and also collaborate with different clubs just to see if we can invite other speakers to come to our club to do a speech, or we can go over their club and be as visitors, and just to see what we can learn from each other and how we can improve our club to the next level. Okay. So the big announcement that we have for next week is we're going to have our first in-house humorous speech contest.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Would you like to elaborate this topic a little bit more?
Okay.
Come over here. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to be holding a humorous speech contest next week. Every now and then the district will have contests to try to bring out some really good speakers, first within your club and then over to the district, and then perhaps moving on to regional and even the final. So next week we will have the humorous speech contest. It's going to be 5 to 7 minutes in English, not Mandarin, in English. And so the rules are really simple. Don't go over it, because once you go over it, you get disqualified. And don't go under it, you still get disqualified. So stay within the range and just make people laugh. Okay? So anybody who wants to participate, actually let's do a sign up right now. Anybody who wants to participate, just go ahead and raise your hand and we'll take you down. We're gonna probably hold back on other speeches and just do the whole humorous thing next week.
With that.
Right. Right, and the way that we elect the winner is simply everybody's going to vote on who is the funniest speech, so then they can move up to the district level to participate, which is going to be on September 29th, right? Yeah, September 29th, they're going to be going over there to do that. So, yes, so anybody would like to give it a shot right now? You have to be a member. That's the first thing. You have to be a member, just a good standing member is really all you need. Anyone would like to participate?
I can dust one off.
Dan. Okay, great.
Right.
Okay.
And I know Kathy also wanted to join the contest.
Right, yeah, Kathy wants to join. Marshka, you said you want to do it?
I didn't think about it.
Oh, okay.
We'll get Marky down
Well.
first. And we strongly encourage you to join this contest because it is really fun to get out here and talk. And that's not the best part. The best part is you actually, once you win the contest over here, you get to go out and compete with other clubs and representatives as well. That's a great honor. So that's why we really encourage you to do it. And yeah, it's just fun to be out there. Anybody else?
I can't do it because I'm the judge. So.
No, you could still. Someone else could be the judge.
For that district one.
Oh, you already volunteered?
Yeah, the governor volunteered me to do the.
No, you could still you could still participate in your club.
But you don't have to vote for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I by the way, I'm a mentor for this club, and so today's speech, even though it's Mandarin, is to give you a taste of what it could be a humorous. Everybody has some humorous thing happen in their life. Don't worry, humor sometimes is very personal. They say, oh, it may be funny for you, but it may not be funny for them. I want to encourage you to just go ahead and try it because we all speak from the heart, you see. So it's your story that is more important than whether or not it's funny because you can never guess what is funny or not funny, you see. But I just happen to know that there are a lot of things in life, even tragic things, that you could laugh about it later on. That's why this public speaking Toastmaster is so good because when something horrible happens to you, you go, I'm going to make a speech about this. Well, you know, one of these days they're going to laugh at that. So for what Alan is saying, don't be afraid just to go and try a contest. You know, just for fun and also to just push your comfort zone. Go up there. And it doesn't hurt to find out. If you do win, like Alan said, wow, you start to go and compete with other clubs. That's how I started. You know, you just try and go, whoa, I won. Now what? You know, then you go to a bigger room and then you go, oh, I won that. What will happen? So that's what it is. The experience itself is more important than winning. Just experience it. Okay? And if you need coaching, that I would be glad to, and so would Robert or anyone for competition speaking. Okay? You have lots of help here, and Alberto as well.
Thank you. Yes, well.
Okay, you want to put me down.
Great.
And Alan too.
Oh, sure, yeah. Put me down.
Johan too.
Johan!
Yeah.
Great. I was going to say, I think Bjorn would
Yes.
give
Bjorn.
a very good
Yeah.
speech.
Yeah.
Hey, when is it?
Next week.
Next week. Should we put you down?
You gotta give me a job though.
No. No
I'll keep an eye out for you.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
That's bribery.
Just under the table.
Your job is to give a funny speech and win.
Yeah. Anybody else? Michael, would you like to participate?
I don't know how I would come up with something funny though.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Just come up with something funny.
You don't have to. No pressure. It's just
Yeah,
that
just
if you
think
want to
about
do it anytime during the week, just let us know via email and we'll put you down on the list.
Yeah.
Okay, and that goes for anybody else who wants to go ahead and participate.
That's on to Michael.
Michael.
But your evaluation was funny too. Your speech was funny. I was not.
By the way, there will be an evaluation contest as well. Can you do that following week? There is an evaluation contest as well.
Four. You want to go ahead and evaluate that?
Well, actually, it's on the same day, isn't it? The speech and the evaluation.
For your contest, for your club, you could have one meeting devoted totally to humor,
Speech, right?
and then the next one totally devoted to evaluations. Everybody just even go for the evaluation contest as well.
Right. Okay. So
But,
just
but I would suggest just two separate meetings.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So the second part of the competition is the evaluation competition. Basically, it is to see how well you evaluate other speakers, and that's really the main purpose. And we can hold the competition the following week after that. And again, that's going to be a lot shorter. It's going to be 2 to 3 minutes, right? It's going to be a 2 to 3 minutes speech on how well you evaluate the speech. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to do that.
This is how the evaluation contests go. You're going to choose a test speaker from another club, preferably from another club. She or he will come and give the speech, and all of you who are participating will listen and write your notes down. And then you will all be escorted outside and one by one brought in to give an evaluation. And then all of us would judge, just like your contest, to hear all the different evaluations.
Oh.
Okay. Wow. Pretty good. Now we need to find a speaker to do that.
We'll collaborate. Well,
Yes.
we'll find a speaker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to speak, be that speaker for that. You can be the speaker now.
You should get an outsider, because the reason you want to get an outsider is some of you who have heard each other speak again already have a little bias, you see. So it's good to have someone completely different from a club. You've never seen them before come in to do that. And clubs will exchange speakers. Like one of you may go to another club to speak as their test speaker, and then they'll send theirs for you. So this is what Alan was talking about, going to another club to look for someone who will exchange for it. If you really can't find somebody, then I think Alberto and I could find somebody as well. But you as leaders make the initiation to look for contact.
Great. Okay.
Great.
So that's it. Right?
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
So in regards to the next week's meeting for the mentors, since this is going to be the first time we do the speech contest, do we still do table topics or do we don't?
No,
we just do the speech
all
contest.
speech, all.
Okay. All right, but do we still need a Toastmaster for the events?
Pretty much, yeah. In that case, Alberto and I could be the Toastmaster
Great.
for the contest.
Okay. All right. All right. So with that being said, thank you very much. Is there anything else you guys want to cover? Anything else you want to announce?
Meeting agrees. Awesome meeting.
All right. Thank you.
赵文君，你要把这个填好。如果你用中文写，Thank you。有没有时间？就是随便写。
Yeah, if you can give your evaluation to the speakers right now, it'll be great.
Here you go.
JJ.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I started.
I thought that you were actually like a fluent Finnish speaker. You're excited.